on this video I would like to talk about the DC comic book Implosion, as a third round of firings is going to take place. And that includes a lot of the editors, upper management, writers and staff have been let go last year. And DC in March is going to have something like only 34 books published that month. And there's going to be less. There will be more cutbacks and more firings. Because the owners, AT&T, who are in debt, are cutting staff to save on money, to save on costs. And they really just inherited DC Comics from their WB purchase. It wasn't something they wanted. It just was part of the package deal. So AT&T, which is cutting cutbacks everywhere, and we're just going to talk DC Comics here, it made me think of this. It made me think, when you talk to publishing end, forget movies, forget animation, toys, merchandise, forget all of that. Just the comic book publishing business each year, meaning the actual books and sales. Since I don't know it offhand, but how much debt, your company is either making a profit, doing even, or you're losing money. And if DC is losing money, which it is, and Marvel isn't doing good either, then you know what? The market is playing out exactly how it should be. In a capitalistic, free society, when the buyer, when the consumer, which is us, determines what we like, what we support, and what we don't like. I remember back in the day, in the 1960s, you'd see interviews that would say, they would publish a book, they would just put it out there, and if the book sold, you made more issues. If the book didn't sell, you stop it, you cut it. You stop the book, you stop the title. You publish something else, and you see if it catches on. And if it's not catching on, you could reinvent it, you could work around it, some new ideas to the title. And if it still doesn't catch on, if you're still losing money on the book, you cancel it. That's the fair market. Basically, if it's profitable, you make more. If it's not selling and you're losing money, you put a stop to it. And to me, what's happening at DC and will be happening at Marvel is a fair system. But you know what? Comic books in America, they actually deserve what is happening to them. Because they took this nonsense, social justice, political bend the past few years that the fans did not want, that the fans did not call for. You didn't want these huge character changes that were out of character, taking political positions, talking about all these topics in the real world that we've had enough of and we go to escape in our fiction, and then putting it in our fiction so we cannot even escape from it. And we can't even enjoy the stories. You see, you wanted the stories back then, like the Dark Phoenix saga. You wanted to see the Hulk versus the Thing. You want to see Batman versus Superman. This is the entertainment as comic fans you want. You don't want to talk about politics and gender issues and race issues and all of this in the comic books. Who the heck wants that? I mean, do you really want that in a superhero comic book? No, you want galaxy explorers. You want an invasion from outer space. You want monsters under the ground. That's what you want to hear about. That's what you want to read about. That's what you expect. Not to be preached to by some writer who's hitting you over the head with a mallet to accept these ideas. And then, you know, Twitter unleashing these writers and editors to insult the fan base. How the hell is that appropriate? The people who buy your comic books, the ones who are supporting you and your company, you insult them. You go after them. You know, they actually paid $4 an issue to pick up your comic book. And you're going to insult them? You're going to make fun of them? That is the opposite of smart business. What you should have had was a lockdown on the writers and editors to drop the hammer. You don't insult the fans. If you don't like their viewpoint, shut up. If you don't like their viewpoint, don't say anything. By opening their mouth, they only made themselves and their company look worse. It didn't help. So you're turning off your buyers. Very smart marketing decision right there. You're making comic books, instead of being true to the character, you're twisting the character to fit your agenda. And you're charging $4 an issue. And you wonder why the business is failing. You wonder why DC Comics is failing and Marvel. No matter how many times the Kamala Khan Ms. Marvel book fails, they keep pushing it. And the Captain Marvel book fails, they keep pushing it. Because apparently they like to lose money so that they could fit their agenda. The agenda is more important than producing good quality. The only way to really get the industry back in top shape is something that both companies, Marvel and DC, will not do. They won't do this. And what needs to be done is, number one, get every writer, every editor, any upper management that pushed or advocated for these social justice topics and superheroes that had no business being there, they all must be fired. Every single one of them fired. And not let back into business. Marvel has to fire them, and DC has to fire them, and make an agreement not to hire these people. Because Marvel and DC are the two powerhouse companies. And if these writers want to go independent, Image, or some other company, fine. But for your Marvel heroes, your DC heroes, these people should have been outright fired. Because the problem is, if you fire them from one company, they're going to show up on the other company. So the situation does not improve. You would have to fire all the editors, the managers, the upper staff, and the writers who engaged in this. Never to return. The artists are easy. Artists are starving artists. They want to work. They're not going to put the stuff in it. You just lay the hammer down. You put any of this crap in your comic art, you're fired. Believe me, the artists, they're no problem. They will obey. You just got to put the hammer down and say, you put any of this nonsense in it, you're fired. That's it. And you'll never work for this company again, ever. The artists, they are not the problem. The writers, the editors, the upper management. So you hire new writers, new editors, new upper management, preferably from the book business of publishing. And you give them one agenda. You push any of this garbage, any of this crap in our comic books, in our superheroes, you are immediately fired and you will never work for this company again. Ever. End of story. And you let them know you dropped that hammer. And once the editors and the writers get it, and they understand that if they push this even one time, fired forever, never to return, then they'll get it. Because either you value a paycheck or you value your social justice crap. Both worlds will not exist in this superhero company. And so if you value actually making a paycheck, you know what to do and what not to do. That's the first thing. And the second thing that must be done is get all of these social justice crappy characters like Kamala Khan, the new Captain Marvel take that they've been doing. You get all of these characters and you tell the writers they can never be used again. Shove them in the corner, make them retire, depower them, never to be focused on again. With the exception of securing the copyright or the trademark. So whenever the trademark or copyright is going to expire and you have to publish him for that one issue or that minimum amount, and then throw them off to the side again. So just to keep the copyright and the trademark around, yeah, you could publish him one-off or whatever, and that's the real purpose, and then just shove him away, never to be referenced, talked about, or in storylines again. The characters that do not sell issues, the characters that only sell issues that do not sell and the titles fail, and focus on the main heroes, the characters that have lasted 50 or 80 years and make money for your company. That should be the focus. And then maybe, just maybe, the company will improve. Maybe if you do that again, focus on the Batman, Superman, focus on Batman fighting new villains, focus on Spider-Man fighting new villains, new storylines, new ideas, world threats, power struggles, etc. You know, the stuff that people grew up reading and liked. Maybe then they would actually go back into comic books. But, you know, that's just a suggestion I have. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll talk to you later.